everybody, and welcome to another
One more.
of the Rising Legends. In
There we go.
Chapter 3. I, of course, am your kindest beloved Overlord Brute, got extraordinary DLBot 20's team, weapon with the phone profile, flag guy 98.
Coin Mojiste.
I've gotten very good at saying that very, very fast.
Yes.
I'm like the micro machines man.
Trails.
Must have fought a frickin' weeaboo.
Our Spirit King.
Whoops.
Sorry.
I was going to say.
I've been doing this for so long. I forgot. I don't need to do that. Anyway.
Oh, hold on. I need to be right back, but I have to go open the door real quick.
Anyway.
Our Spirit King Hiiro.
Who just had fucking ice cream practically airdropped into him not even 2 seconds ago, so hey, there's that.
Our Crimson Fire, the Curator Crimson.
So, considering we have a new member in the party tonight, how do they feel about loss of limb, health insurance, whether the party is not responsible for any of their deaths forthcoming?
Of course you bring that up.
Yeah, of course he would.
Do not sign that contract at all.
Don't do it.
She has to.
Wow!
We all signed it to join the party.
I never signed any sort of contract, asshole. Anyway,
Let's move on.
Our Goblin Slain Goblin Sentaifan.
Yo!
And what's this? We're joined by someone else. Why, it's not another Heart of Chaos. Well, that's Chalice!
I am
Taking
not
her a long way to
responsible for
return to
any
the channel.
D&D related shenanigans that may or may not happen.
No one ever is.
Anyways.
And finally, our wonderful DM, Markus.
Hi, it's me.
There we go.
Sorry.
I was worried for a second.
I apparently had clicked the mute unintentionally on my actual headset, so didn't mean to do that. Yes, I am here for any shenanigans myself. So we're going to start this out with a quick little recap for you. If you've listened to the last couple of the podcast, we have been doing what was our holiday fun shot, our Charles Dickens-esque fight against the three spirits of Midwinter.
Original characters do not steal.
That's right, Makeup Charlie. Who could that possibly have been?
I have no idea.
Right.
Yeah.
But we are back from that little side trek to our main chapter 11 in our Storm King's Thunder, the penultimate chapter of our story. At the beginnings, we have found we've been given by Sarissa of the princess of the storm giants, current queen, I guess, in lieu of her missing father, King Hekaton. We found a little chit. I'm going to put it on the screen so it will be on the video. You were given the golden goose, a little wood coin, by Princess Sarissa that she had been given by someone who was investigating the area where her mom was killed, the queen. Yeah. And through actually, I believe it was through Nyx's contacts that you were able to find out that this is a gambling chit from a casino aboard a ship called the Grand Dame, and that it was in the port city on the river of Yartar. So you traveled there, and this is where you arrive on your magical new magical new sleigh. Yeah. And you arrive there, let's say midday, and you got the chit. You're here. You know there's a boat you need to get on. What do you do? What are your actions? What do you want? How do you wish to proceed? to determine what you need to do. You need to investigate the thing. You know it's a gambling boat. Let's say you stop off. You stop in a tavern / inn to kind of get your
Things in
lodgings
track.
set. Lodgings and food taken care of for the night.
Yeah.
And you can, whatever you guys wish to do at this point to gather information, you can do. You can ask around in the tavern. You could go try to kind of try to find out where this place is. You don't know which dock it's on or what the boat looks like or where it's at. All you know is it is supposedly out of this town.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, of course, if anything, just maybe just like walking or like as we're walking around a little bit, asking some of the locals maybe like where like general direction, even just like a general direction
yeah, that'll work.
towards the boat, obviously.
Okay. So if you start, I'm assuming you're starting asking what in the tavern, or are you gonna wait until you get on the street?
I'd say start in the tavern and then we work our way out from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good
So you start asking some folks in the tavern. What exactly are you asking?
Like what? Because I'm trying to. What was the exact name of the ship?
The
'Cause
ship's
I
name
can't
is
remember.
the Grand Dame.
Okay, asking like anybody, like just asking like some people here and there, like where that ship, where that Grand Dame, I believe you say, yeah, the ship would be, where that would be.
A couple people are that are there kind of like ignore you. Like they're not. They're like, I don't know why you're asking. The bartender hears you asking, and he says the Grand Dame, and he's wiping the counter down. He goes.
Mhm.
He looks you up and down. He goes, you're from the looks of you, you're not going to be welcome at the Grand Dame. He goes, that casino is only for the elite in this town. You got to be wealthy or connected. He goes, but if you want to check it out, and he gives you like the slip number of the dock that the ship is on. And he says the ship's out today for it's on the river for a gambling tour, but should be back by this evening.
Good to hear. We are inquiring about the ship because we were given a kit. Oh yeah.
Well, regardless though, it's like actually it would make sense actually. It's like as it's being said, like just kind of undoing the main like coat and then just pull it, like just kind of not pulling the point out for everybody to see, but just kind of like flashing it enough so the bartender can at least see it, but not everybody else.
He goes. So looks like you either have been there or you know someone who has. He goes, I recognize that. That's one of the tokens from the casino. I've seen folks come in here and flash it around when they've gotten lucky.
Oh, we got lucky, alright.
Just not the same kind of lucky for that.
Yeah.
Next is going to pull Rex by the ear and pull him outside the tavern. Don't mention the giants, or I will throw you off the boat. Got it.
I wasn't planning to.
We will only mention things when we need to. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to do some research at this dock area.
All right.
All right.
What are you gonna do at the dock?
Just going to scope out, see if there's any guard patrols, if it's going to be hard to get on and off the boat without looking wealthy.
Well, right now it's still the ship is gone. It's out on the river right now. That's what the bartender told you. It would not be back till later this evening. So you can wait around the docks if you want to. If you want to, I don't know if you want to be seen just skulking around for several hours, but
I will use my passive perception of 15, and I will instead of standing about, just kind of like meander about, maybe interact with a few of the local dock workers.
Okay. What you notice? You do notice some activity on the dock. What you notice is there's for an empty dock, there's like 6 like fairly heavily armed guards, and that's which would lead to the importance of that. And as you're watching, you happen to notice that there are crates that are being delivered, and maybe why the guards are there. The crates are being dropped off at the end of the dock, and they're labeled with like things you would consider you would need to restock a casino with. There's like labels of like food, and you see like wine barrels and ale barrels being rolled. So it's almost like they're getting stuff on the dock for when the ship comes in, so they can load it up for the next thing. There's definitely looks like consumables being delivered, but a fairly heavy guard presence for sure.
How equipped are the guards? What are we talking here? We're talking good, decent armor. We talking?
Yeah, fairly heavily armored. They're probably at least as heavily armored, if not more so, than they're what you look from your experience as a rogue and knowing like a kind of because you've been around long enough to kind of know quality of armor. They look to be well funded. Like you obviously can't tell if anything on them is magical or if but their weaponage and their armor looks to be of they told you, the bartender said that it's only the wealthy or elite. The guards definitely look the part of someone who would pay for good security.
Of course.
I'm just taking notes down. Okay, do not let Angus start. Right.
And I would like to during this time though, while he's like doing that, just like because considering the way my character like he looks with the whole thing, he just takes off the coat and just kind of folds it up and just kind of packs it away in the bag of holding, so he can look a little more well dressed for the situation at hand.
Okay.
Because he is wearing what you could almost in a weird way consider a suit.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's so you're just where are you at? Are you at near the dock with Nix? Because he was trying to not look conspicuous. Are you like?
Oh no, I was just saying like at the thing at the tavern. He's basically just taking the coat off, putting it in there.
There, gotcha. So you're doing all right. So that's we'll say until the evening. That's what you guys are doing. So I can get everyone's what they're doing. So Angus, until from midday to the evening, what are you doing? And you could also this is a mid-sized town. If like you need to do any kind of shopping or anything, that could be possible.
I actually am trying to see if I can't get find a like healing potion just in case.
Okay. Yes, I think you absolutely can. There is a shop. There is an alchemist shop, definitely. And what are you looking for? Are you looking for Are you looking to get a like a regular healing potion?
Yeah.
So you're not looking for like anything crazy like a greater or anything like that. Just a regular healing potion.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm trying not to like break my own bank.
I got you. Okay.
I mean, the potions aren't too expensive from what I remember.
They're not. I was finding out the.
I have the list written down already. It's from the list that we saw for it was 50 gold for
I thought it was 50 for regular. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, you can get. Honestly, I would say up to. They would have enough that they probably have 10 potions. I would think in stock. 50 is still a lot of gold for regular townsfolk.
Yeah.
So, you can get as many of those 10 as you can afford.
All right. I'm just gonna grab let's see. I already have 3 healing potions in my inventory already.
Okay.
So
I mean, if you have those, I don't know if you need another one per se.
Yeah.
If you want to get extra, you can. They are available. You don't always have a town that's going to have an alchemist.
Yeah. Like I'm not stopping you from picking them up if you want to. I'm just saying like you might not need to.
I think probably like 2 more wouldn't hurt.
Okay. Well, add 2 to your inventory and deduct 100 gold pieces, and when you buy them, the the young elfin lady behind the counter kind of is a little bit like wary of you, and she hands them to you, and she goes, this won't heal that scar on your face. And she puts them in the.
Oh right.
Hands them to you.
Yeah.
And it's just shrugs and says, I know.
Okay, so she seems very relieved when you leave. Goblins are not something they see on the street shopping, but
Yeah.
you've not caused any trouble, so no one's really going to give you any kind of grief.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Nyx and Cairo and Angus.
Well, let me add one small thing to my thing. By the way, he's finding a way to like wear the beret so he can kind of hide his horns per se, so they can kind of explain away a little bit, maybe a little easier.
I don't know, man. You're like blue, aren't you?
Well, no, I'm saying like so he can just there's other ways to like if the horns aren't there, there's other ways to explain that like accidents happen potentially.
Yeah.
Sure.
Not saying it might work. I'm not saying it'll work, but it's an easier way to hide the horns so people don't see the horns.
You have your beret right on top of your horns. You are not being. No one can see your horns at this point.
Good.
And so, all right. So, Rex or Gears, either one of you guys, what do you want to do from midday to the evening? If anything, you could just hang out in the tavern. You don't have to do anything. I'm just asking to make sure you have a chance.
Yeah,
same here. All right. So evening begins to roll around. And they they told you that the bartender would have told you what bells.
What to listen for?
Yeah. What time it would be on the thing. But before that happens, you guys are all kind of sitting back at having your dinner at the tavern, kind of just hanging out in a little table off to the side.
Yeah.
And a human, young human man, not like a kid, but like probably in his 20s. Comes up and approaches the table and says, "Excuse me, gentlemen, if I may have a moment of your time."
Yes.
Hmm.
And he says, I represent one of the lords of this community. And, well, Lord Chamberlain has eyes and ears all over the city. My liege is actually quite a powerful, influential person. And, well, he heard that you were looking to maybe try to gain access to the Grand Dame. And as adventurers, which you, and he looks up and down at your equipment, obviously are, wonders if he might entreat you to listen to a business proposition that might be beneficial for both parties involved.
I mean, let the smart boy cut to the chase.
Well, I'm not at liberty to say what is needed, but I am at liberty to give you directions and an invitation to his manor. Just outside of town, if you will follow these directions and try to be there within the next 3 bells, if you may, and we will do much better at taking care of you than this tavern can. Don't get me wrong. As taverns go, the food here is passable, but if you would like to eat a little more upscale, the Lord will make sure you dine well and drink well and discuss business that will, I think, help take care of some of the things you need. And he's still holding the invitation and
of course, standing up, you know that thing that people do sometimes in fancy situations where you're like pressing down your clothes a little bit, like standing up, doing that for a second, and then like not gingerly in a way, but just kind of gently grabbing it, but making sure that I'm not too hostile about it. Obviously,
you take it, and he kind of does like a half bow at the waist, and he says, "Very good, sirs." He goes, "I will be there as well, and I look forward to seeing you. My name is Rufus."
Rufus. Okay.
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
You'll be known as Boy.
So, fine. He goes. He's like. He says, "You say that," and he's like, "I have been called worse, sir." We look forward to seeing you at the manor. And he takes his leave of you and leaves. So, you guys can.
I meant not as an insult. I just meant I probably won't remember your name.
I understand. Rufus, by the way. He'll tell you again if you ask him.
Yeah.
So that's what. So you guys have been, asked to go. So you have a couple hours if you want. He says within 3 bells. You by all means can just kind of get yourself together, clean up a little bit, and head towards that way if you'd like.
Well, I mean, I'm already cleaned up as I can be, considering the way I've described my character. So, like, he's fine to just go whenever.
Certainly.
Right.
Okay. So let's say you get on your, you have 8 hours on your sleigh. Let's say you didn't use all of it, but you have enough to kind of get there. So
Yeah.
the directions are easy to find. There's a small, just a small road that goes out of town, and a little along more better maintained road than you would see, like almost like a driveway, but it's
Yeah.
you've seen little dirt paths that go off the main roads, and usually they're crap because they go to little farm towns. This one's very well maintained. It's got a nice little hedgerow that kind of takes it all the way down. It kind of reeks of money. You get to a gate, and a guard pulls up and says, may I inquire as to your business?"
Pulling out from like the inside of like the vest pocket, pulling the letter out that we received earlier.
And he glances at it and sees the signature and the watermark, and he's very well, sir, very good. And
putting it back in the pocket.
He gets his partnered, and they swing the iron gate open, and let you guys go. And it is a nice manor. It's actually the last manor you saw that was like this tried to kill you. That was this nice.
Yeah.
But it's
right. You mean the one that was alive?
Yes, but this one's nicer. This is a bigger town than Blasendale. This is a really nice house, and you pull up, and someone comes up like almost you definitely know what he is. He's like a valet. He comes up. He comes running up, and he goes, "Can I park your?" And he sees like the ethereal like deer that are pulling the sleigh, and he's like, and he doesn't know what he should do.
It's just looking up at the poor man. It's like, just don't worry about it. They're not. It's just don't worry about it.
So you guys would then get out of the sleigh, and I could see Angus just shaking the bells, and everything disappears, and he puts it in his pack, and the guy's just sitting there like not knowing what to do.
The guy's
next
like,
next is going to go up to the valley. Next is going to go up to the valley and offer him 20 gold for his troubles, and say you saw nothing.
He goes, "Nothing, sir. Of course I didn't.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing."
He takes it. He goes, "I don't know what you're even talking about. This is like the money you've given him is like a 2-year salary for this guy. Like he's like, whatever you say, sir." And he tucks it in his pouch, stands there like trying to look to make sure no one else saw how much you gave him.
You know what? I want to break this man's world. You know, I'm gonna do something hilarious. I'm gonna just hand this man out of nowhere just 100 gold for no reason.
He's like, he takes it, and he takes it and puts it in his belt. He does that, and as you're giving it, and he puts it down in a thing. Rufus, that comes from the big open doors and starts walking down the stairs towards you with his hands wide. He goes, "I am so glad you made it. Greetings, greetings." And when he does that, the valet turns around and he goes, "Hey, Rufus, I fucking quit." And he gives him the finger, and he starts walking out down the thing. What?
Wait,
what just happened?
Did this happen because we just gave this man 120 gold?
Yeah, he's set. He's good for a year. He can just do nothing for a while. So yeah, he quits and leaves.
I think he's going to walk out the gate, and you're just going to hear a thump.
You know what the thing is though? Like, even though like we did this, I'm still like even though I did this to him, I'm still looking at the man. It's like, God damn! Like, I didn't know handing somebody gold could do that.
Yeah. Rufus is like just kind of shakes it off. He goes, "Well, we'll have to deal with that. I guess we got to get a new valet."
Clearly, there's an issue with staff retention, and if that's a common occurrence.
Oh my god!
But so he leads you in, and he says, if you'll follow me, and he leads you up through these big doors, the giant foyer, the big staircase, the whole thing, and he walks you through like a couple of back rooms, a couple of hallways. And he turns and he goes, "Gentlemen, if you don't mind, we will have drinks and refreshments after we discuss business.
Of course.
If that is okay with you." So he then turns back around and continues to lead you. He leads you into this like big office. There's a giant desk. There's plush couches and a bunch of chairs for you guys to sit in. Very nice. And
of course,
there is a human male, middle-aged, sitting behind the desk, and he stands up and and kind of gives you kind of a half smile and beckons you in, and it is this gentleman here.
Okay.
You guys should see him.
Yeah, I was just waiting for it to show up. That's why I was saying, "Oh wow, he actually looks
All right.
pretty well put together."
I don't know if this is me, but his face makes him look like an actor. I don't know which one though.
Honestly, I think he looks like the guy from bloody Dishonored.
Kinda.
I can kind of see it.
Not the main character, the guard guy you basically kill.
Yeah.
But you're walking in, and as you're walking in, and he stands up. The Rufus like turns around and he goes, "I present to you Lord Montgomery Chamberlain, the High Noble of Yartar." And he turns and he kind of does his heel click, and he goes where he backs out and shuts the double doors behind him. You know that move. And Lord Chamberlain says, "Please sit down." And he turns towards a door that's behind him.
Yeah.
And he says, Amber, please join us. And the door opens, and out steps. Go ahead and let's describe who we see there, Miss Chalice.
Yep.
Well, out stands a small figure garbed in a dark green cloak with leather armor underneath, as well as a pair of fingerless gloves and steel-toed boots. The hood of the cloak is draped over her head, but you can see two long, blonde, fluffy ears and long whiskers peeking out of it.
Yeah.
And obviously, this is a Harengon, and she gazes at you calmly with her bright green eyes. But the most prominent thing you can see on her back is a bow and quiver slung over. And even though she looks cutesy and harmless, there's appears to be some other things underneath that cloak and armor.
Yeah.
So, is anyone proficient in Arcana?
Guess who? Right here.
All right. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check. If you just roll your Arcana check, please.
All right. Here we go. Just waiting for it to. Don't know why. I don't know why I rolled. God damn, Jesus Christ.
Okay, that's just enough. So, of everybody here, the only person who has actually seen, and this was years ago for Cairo, has ever seen a Harengon, much less knows about them. I mean, you guys may have heard stories about rabbit folk in the Faerun, but to see one here in one, at least in the prime material plane, much less somewhere that's so close to like what you would consider society, is very rare. But you recognize her as what she is, a Harengon. And you can definitely would be able to tell later, tell everybody what what you know.
What that fully means and such. And of course, go ahead. I'll wait till she's done with her thing, and then I'll say what I'm gonna do.
Any other things you wish to describe or want to say as your character comes out?
Yes, you can actually notice that one of her ears appears to be scarred, and you can see a small scar in one of her eyes.
Ooh.
Edgy.
All right.
And of course, as she's done describing that, Kai, of course, because obviously she would know that what he is, but he takes off to reveal that the horns that are elaborately swirling back a little bit, just to show that she's not the weirdest thing that he's seen or ever experienced.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious that most people would not have seen a Warforged, and a goblin to be with you guys is really unusual.
Yeah.
Usually goblins are not seen as being forces of good as a rule.
No, they aren't.
And the only ones that look kind of normal are obviously your half elf would be more accepted in most societies, and Nyx looks pretty human right now.
Human.
I mean, depending on the place, I could easily be accepted into most places.
Yeah, I mean, but tieflings are seen with a lot of suspicion by human society, so that is also the case. So not a bad idea when you're hiding your horns to kind of keep that from being as obvious as it would be.
Yeah.
So,
and of course, like after he does that, he puts the hat back on a few seconds later, saying, "No offense, I just don't. No, not a lot of people trust my kind."
So he nods. He nods at that, and he says, "Well, I'm going to hopefully be putting a lot of trust in you and your group, if we can come to an agreement."
Of course.
I am. Say again.
Depends on your terms, sir. And also, next is going to go around the room capping the wall.
Okay.
Don't mind me. Last time we were accepted into a noble's house, it tried to kill us.
He looks like he's gonna ask a question about what you just said, and then he kind of decides he needs to get to the business, so he decides against like asking more about that.
It was like the finger up. It was like the finger up, like,
no.
Yeah,
it's exactly like that. He's like, no. And he says, I understand that from what I've heard, and that you've been asking, and actually maybe even doing a little investigating about the Grand Dame.
Of course, as soon as he says about it, pulling out the coin, showing that, of course, like he is in fact completely correct about that.
Well, you should know that access to the Grand Dame is limited to invitation only. It is,
of course,
high society, wealthy, connected people, not just even from Utah. People travel from as far as Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate to enjoy the gambling here. That being said, there's very little chance that on your own you would have access to this ship, unless you were to try to brute your way in. And let me tell you, the security they have between their guard and their magical defenses, I doubt there would be an issue. However, I may be able to help you. I have enough connections that I could get invitations for each of you, and to top it off, some false identities for you for the evening to allow you access to investigate whatever it is you're investigating. I honestly don't need to know, and probably would prefer not to, but I can help you out. But I am in a bit of a bind, and I need some brave souls to assist me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's for...
Well, he's going to tell you. He says, several weeks ago, probably about a fortnight. He goes about a 10-day, I guess, because they call it 10-day. About a week.
Yeah.
So he goes several 10 days ago. Been a few weeks actually. My brother and my sister-in-law, his wife, went out for a night ride close by, and out in the countryside, and they've gone missing. And I fear the worst. Now, there have been some scattered reports that have not really borne any fruit for evidence that there have been some undead in the area. That's the extent of what we know. I do not know if these undead are powerful. I don't know if that is even true. If it's something else and people just assume, you know how people get spooked. I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah.
I did hire some scouts who believe they have tracked them to what was it was a burial mound, and we found a way into this tomb. The tomb is now uncovered. But so far, I have not been able to find anyone brave enough to explore them, at least not a party. Amber here was the first hire to try to help me. She has a background and some talents that I feel would be beneficial to assist. And if you would allow her to accompany you and would take on the task of exploring this, I would need to find from you either rescuing my brother and my sister-in-law, or at least giving me some kind of closure on what the fate of both of them are. If you wish to do that, I will make sure you are well fed tonight and well rested, and you may leave at first light or midday, whenever is convenient for you to do this. And Amber here will accompany you as my liaison. I need someone who will make sure that my interests are being represented with the party.
Right.
And if that's acceptable, and you come back with either a rescue or news of the fate of my family,
evidence or that, or basically, it's what he's almost saying is evidence or directly them.
Yep, them back. If rescue them if they are alive and bring them back home, or some evidence to their fate, so I know what happened to them. If that is acceptable, then, well, I have given Amber here knows the directions to this tomb, and you can enjoy the evening and my hospitality. And if that is the case, we have a deal. I will take care of your access to the Grand Dame.
All right.
Now, before we begin,
that's more than fair for the whole thing.
It is.
Would you please sit down? If you're going to be joining a party, you have a contract to sign.
No.
Besides, it's her choice if she wants to stay after all of this.
Yes.
What do you mean
I'm a wee.
I
mean, we offer free healthcare from the paladin. We're not responsible for any loss of a limb, any minor accident.
By this point, Gears would basically bonk
like a light bonk.
Head with the hilt of his sword. Please excuse our rogue. He's rather uncouth.
So as Gears bonks next in the back of the head, he's going to pull out his heavy crossbow and go, "Try it again, Gearbox."
You do that, and honestly, the Lord Chamberlain's like, gentlemen, that there's no need for that, please, not in the manor at least. And he says and he goes. Let me get Rufus to show you to your accommodations. Dinner will be served in a promptly 1 hour. And he does the clap.
Yeah.
And Rufus comes, like, snaps back in, opens the door, and he's like, show them to their rooms. And he takes you around. And these are really nice rooms. And they're nice, plush. I mean, Rex, you don't even have to kick anybody out of yours. It's like it's empty already. It's empty already when you start, so it's cool.
So I'd like to point out, dear DM, Rufus is now seeing Lord Chamberlain's face on the rogue.
Oh my God! So you? Oh, did you? He looks at you and he's like, "What wizardry is this?" He goes, "Are you some kind of illusionist, sir?"
Maybe.
I can just imagine, like, over time, Nyx just starts fucking with Rufus by, like, slightly changing things.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. I don't think have you told them what you are? Your party?
No.
I've mentioned it when we were at a certain hovel.
Okay. Because I was thinking I couldn't remember if you told them that you're a changeling.
I think he might have told us, but he might not have, like, obviously in character we wouldn't know exactly what that means, but we would know what he is, I believe.
If you remember, I changed into the Hobgoblin Captain.
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
So
Yes,
we would have seen it happen. Yes.
Yes.
So, as Rufus asked that question, my face is kind of just going to go blank, and his face is going to appear on it now. I have many talents.
He's like, apparently,
false identities come naturally to me. So, if you excuse me, I've got a room to check since, as I said, in your master's chamber, the last time I was invited into a noble establishment, the house tried to kill me.
Yeah, I'll be doing the same thing in my room, just kind of taking my staff and snapping things. Because I don't trust a lot of things right now.
Like, you remember that you guys remember, like, that the rug and the other one was like a mimic. So you're going in, like, you're just basically taking your sword and you're, like, hitting things with it, like making sure it doesn't turn into something.
Yeah, like I'm taking, like, my staff and, like, holding it like the other way around, so, like, that business end of it is, like, facing towards, like, the ceiling, so, like, kind of poking things, like, I don't trust things.
All right. So so you have a good dinner. Everything's you know, your dinner's good. Let me I'm gonna need to make sure I'm not sure that I have. Oh, I do have Fog of War on. Look at me. Yay.
Yeah.
So, anything you need to do for dinner or for anything you want to do role play wise, you want to talk more to Amber, your new party member, you could do that.
My dinner is purely vegetarian. I don't like meat.
Given your race, it is very understandable.
Yeah.
And of course, like during this time, like of course, actually explaining to the rest of them what her whole thing actually, what the whole thing about her is basically. Like I'm explaining what a hair gun really is basically.
Oh, Hiiro, this reminds me of a tale I heard so long ago of a very dangerous rabbit that lived in a cave.
Oh
White
God!
fur, a red eye, and apparently it took something called a holy hand grenade to take it out.
Nice.
I had a feeling as soon as you
was gonna go.
right eye, I was like, wait
Oh,
a second.
I've actually heard tales of a rabbit too. Ooh, one that avoided a mysterious hunter. Her with a projectile weapon, and apparently at the time it was rabbit season, I believe.
And of course, like as they're saying, it's just like pinching the bridge of my nose. Like, no, this is not what that is. This is something entirely different.
Am I able to hear?
Yeah, you can hear them talking.
Okay, I just stare at them with like the coldest, emotionless stare.
I mean, like, of course, like Kai's just pinches us. God damn it, guys!
Like these motherfuckers are racist.
Of just disdain. And I
well,
pray,
like,
I pray
of course, like,
I pray to whatever God I believe in that this is all a deluded imagination in their minds.
well, like, of course, like as like upon seeing her look, of course, taking the hat off again, saying like, I mean, of course, like, I'm trying to teach people things. Like these guys can say whatever they want.
So, you said it was rabbit season. I'm pretty sure it was Warforged season.
There is no Warforged season.
So yeah, you know what? That's actually a very good point, and we're gonna do this because we're gonna do it for Amber's benefit. I'm gonna pick starting with I'm gonna go clockwise to the ones I'm looking at now. Starting with Nyx. To explain what she's seeing when she sees Nyx.
He's a man cut, garbed, weirdly enough in an emerald suit. Iron boots, a rapier at his side, a couple of cigars in a wee side pocket. His face kind of a mix now of Rufus and Lord Chamberlain as he's trying to meld the faces together. She does kind of see a glimpse of like the pale white skin and the yellow eyes of the changeling, the grey hair.
Would my character know what a changeling is?
Your character probably would not, especially coming from like a rural town. Like a lot of these. Okay, so you've probably seen of all of these people. You probably have not seen a changeling. You probably haven't seen a warforged. You've probably seen a tiefling in passing because they're more common. You've definitely seen goblins, but you know goblins to be. Like
goblins for the little freaks that like to beat people up with.
You know goblins as like these tribal band that are normally enemies. They're normally considered to be bad.
Yeah, evil. Like you see one here,
I'm seeing a bunch of strange people with their pet goblin.
You don't. Well, I mean, the goblin. They don't seem to be treating the goblin like a pet. He seems to be acting as a peer. But yeah, I mean, when you're also familiar with goblins being like minions, kind of. Yeah, goblins have been like, big evil villains tend to like enlist goblins as like their foot soldiers. So
no, I'm just wondering who taught the goblin things. Who educated this goblin?
I mean, if you want to know about the goblin, we found them in a citadel.
Yes.
And well,
he probably
has more nicks on his sword than most of us combined.
Yeah, it's true.
it was by random chance. Just dropped in on us suddenly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he
And I
just
mean,
followed
he
you
just.
home.
Well, no, it's more like it's more like we invited him into the group because he meshed in incredibly well, and he does things that some of us can't do as well.
I'll just watch your ankles if I were you, miss. Please kind of keep your distance.
Am I shorter or taller than the goblin?
Taller.
Did you put a height on your
Haring
sheet?
on are medium, or they can declare to be small. So
Mine
depending what
is
you choose,
mine is a small one.
so you probably live at the same size.
If you might be a
consider
little
tall.
taller because of the ears, but that's about it, probably, if
Yeah,
anything.
you're probably very close to size. Since you're a small size, you're very. If you're a small sized Haringen, you are definitely very close. I mean, you'd be close to being in eye contact with each other.
Yeah.
I give no reaction as I stare at him and then his ankles, and then I just keep alternating between his head and his ankles.
So
Guys, I think the rabbit folk is checking out the goblin. I think we should leave them alone.
Go ahead.
Despite how unusual it might seem, Angus has admittedly committed some strange actions that have ended up saving our lives in the past.
Yes.
Yeah, he has.
Okay.
Well,
Some might even
keep
be
that
considered
in
war
mind.
crimes.
Ooh, can I tell this one?
I'm sorry. Say what was the question from Amber?
I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
No, that's what he.
Do you want to go? I was going to go in order, but if you want to go next, Angus, to say what you look like, you can.
I'll keep it in order.
Okay. Is that everything you've described yourself, Nix? We're going to move on to Rex in my order here that I'm looking at. Rex, describe yourself.
Fairly well dressed with a rapier at his side and a bow at his back. You see half elf with
While you guys are doing this,
fairly brown hair and a very and as much as you would think that our goblin is and most of us are stranger than you're used to, I can assure you that we bid you no harm.
I'm trying to find something real quick.
I just reposted the art I got next done. Like I said, it's a
nice.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm searching for me. I'm trying to find my art for my character so I can post it.
And on what and your gear? I mean, what is your is your instruments like on display? Do you have them somewhere she could see?
Not necessarily. Like,
so you don't you don't tend to keep.
I don't usually tend to keep them on hand. Since they're more used in battle.
Okay, so you have your flute and your pan flute are like just tucked away in your pack.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So very good.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You can look at it like that. Yeah.
All right, and then if that's it, then we'll go on with Cairo. Describe what she sees when she sees.
Obviously, like before you obviously this is he's just gonna take off the hat to obviously again revealing that the horns spiral back and a semicircle kind of, but they're not overly twisted, but they're just enough that it's obviously there. Blue, just blue hair, blue, regular blue skin for his race though. It's very, I think isn't it usually rare to see tieflings that aren't purple usually?
No, tieflings can be. There's a lot of shades. Tieflings go from blue to even a red. Like the tiefling I played was a red skin, almost a very
I would say at least for this world, it's rare for him to have seen other blue tieflings. So for him, it feels like he's more. But in a well dressed just fancy, not super fancy in a way of just it's fancier than most people would see. I will, if I can get the arc. Of course, the arc didn't save. Great.
Have you ever seen pink tieflings?
I mean, it depends on your heritage. If you're from Glacia, Asmodeus, Mephistopheles, Sparta.
Yeah. Let me obviously like he has like some his weapon like he has his mace like to his side kind of dangling off. I'll find the art in a second so someone else can go and I'll post that so you can see everything that he basically is.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Okay. Got that. I had to take a screenshot because for some reason it didn't want to save otherwise, but this is basically like fully what you see, except he's not wearing he's not wearing like the coat over top. He's just wearing everything underneath basically.
Mm-hmm.
That's an easier way to describe it other than describing every small little detail about him because it's just easier to post that and just say this is fully what you see and describe it a little bit.
All right. Anything else you want to do to describe yourself, or
after he's done like just fully going over his stuff, he just kind of pushes the glasses up a little bit because they started to droop a little bit, just to be like, and those are not going to fall because I want to keep them on. Thank you.
Yeah, the
Yes.
bloodline, by the way, for a blue tiefling is Levistus. I don't know if you know that. Levistus is the ever frozen archdevil of the frigid fifth layer of the nine hells, Stygia. So that's the all tieflings have a demonic bloodline in their ancient past. The blue tieflings are from Levistus, just so you're aware. I don't know if you knew that or not, if you did that or not, read that or not, but that's the case.
Adjusting the hat back on as well, just to be like, and I've been keeping this on because I just don't. Not a lot of people like the horns.
Yeah.
I would say that Amber's been around long enough that you would know enough that tieflings are kind of mistrusted. Like you kind of have that sense because people look at and it's because of the demonic heritage is why it's a very prejudiced thing. But you'd be aware of it because I would feel like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because don't want to speak for your character, but I would feel like as a Harengon who is a race that is not seen often, you're probably seen by a lot of human elf groups as being weird or different, and you don't believe. I would think you probably wouldn't believe that someone should be judged by their looks and by what they look like and what race they are.
No, but I'm still on guard just in case.
Sure, I would say, but you're aware of the prejudice and you're aware of what a tiefling bloodline means.
Yes.
So
now, one small extra note though is even though she doesn't have to fully believe it, but he'd be giving off at least the presence of like that he tries to leave every place better than he first found it.
You could even say that. You could say, my philosophy, because you guys are having dinner. So there's obviously dinner conversation, and you guys could get to know each other a little better. So that's fine. You could say something basically you're to the effect that I know what the prejudice is, but I want to leave places better than I found it.
Yes,
very good. All right.
Of course, he likes to. Because of course, the prejudice is he wants to work against those to inevitably make that not a thing, or at least
he wants to fight against the stereotype. Makes sense.
Yes.
All right, Angus, tell us what you look like.
Well, you see us like your standard goblin with who comes from a long line of warriors, and basically his family basically are goblins who do not bother the humans at all. And you also see you also see that he has a scar on his right eye.
Yeah, which he got very recently.
Yeah, I got by fighting Krampus.
Yes.
Like the fictional character?
It's not a thing. Just don't really pay attention to Krampus part of the sit thing. It's just because we were fighting. It's just in general we were fighting someone.
It was what you guys knew as the ghost of Midwinter Future. Or the spirit. Sorry, the spirit of Midwinter Winter Future, which was basically Krampus. So
yeah.
He took a scythe to the face. That's what he
did.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you see that he had on his back is his Blade of Fury, which is a replacement for the sword he did originally come with that his father gave to him on his journey.
Ooh. Was that the sword? That was the exact sword that I think got broke by Shatterspike, I believe, at one point?
It did. When it was being wielded by someone else. Good memory, guys.
How did that just randomly that detail came back to me the second you brought that up? I'm like, wow.
Yeah, Shatterspike destroyed it. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and he's been carrying the pieces and thinking to himself how he's gonna whenever he turns back to his tribe, how he's gonna explain to his father how the family sword got destroyed.
Angus, this is why we can't have nice things.
But yeah, and he
I
also
imagine
had
the conversation is like when you're.
I'll wait.
All right, no, let him finish with his thing, please.
Sorry.
And also you see that he has a belt that allows him that allows him to have the ability to see Misty Step.
Are you regretting that yet?
Yeah, I'm regretting.
No, I'm not. I was more of the
I would say that ability would be called Frosty Step.
Frosty Step, yeah. And basically, he like the other said, he is a odd little goblin who actions have saved their asses more than once.
Yep.
Yeah.
Twice that I can remember easily.
Going into a room full of ogres.
I was thinking everyone was dead and you dove in after a black dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody was. We weren't technically
Everyone
dead.
Was unconscious.
But yeah, that's all I can describe of Angus.
Which that shit was technically actually. Kai wouldn't have fully known about that story actually. Remember, he wasn't there.
No, he wouldn't. Kai, it was not Kai. It was Flair at that point.
Yeah. No, it was Crest. It was Crest. Remember?
Yeah, Crest.
Oh, it was. You were doing.
It was my druid.
Yeah, you were druid. Yeah. Wow, you've had so many characters.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Anything else, Angus, you want to describe or put out there for Amber?
I mean, we could just do the same thing, right? It's like after they describe themselves, just post our art post the art that we're using afterwards.
To post the art, that's fine. Mm-hmm. So that leads us to what they were calling a Warforged. Gears. Explain yourself, Gears. What do you look like?
Well, I don't really like wear any sort of like fancy clothes or whatever. Like the rest of them, I mostly wear armor. Pretty armor that basically is over, or what can be described as what looks like wood of some kind.
If I remember Warforged correctly, it's a mixture of metal and wood, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sheathed on my back is the sword Shatterspike, which we obtained in a previous adventure that and sadly we ended up having to kill the previous owner. We ended up killing the previous owner of the weapon, but it was bequeathed to me at the last request. Now,
Yeah.
Now, normally I do. I have a what could be described as a sort of stylized, sort of crossed visor or a helmet, but currently it's sort of like somewhat, flipped up somewhat to show, oh, a metal sort of face, which is simplistic, which essentially includes a, just two pieces of the jaw, like one lower or one upper.
Yeah. Of course.
Er, and he's just, eating casually, and of course he notices the strange look he's getting from he's getting from our little rabbit person here.
Yeah.
So a warforge is basically some sort of self-sustaining puppet.
It's an automaton, basically. It's a sentient automaton.
So
Yeah.
a robot.
Basically, they don't. It's not.
Do not
Yeah, he
call me a
doesn't.
robot.
Yeah,
I am
that's
not a robot. That is
yeah.
racist.
Yeah, that's.
I'm very sorry. You're
It's
more...
funny because that is a trigger word for Gears. He does
Is
like to
he-
be
We've
called a
actually
robot.
been, yeah.
Is he more akin to a golem?
Well, it's basically okay. Here's a way to describe it. It's like think robot, but a lot more living than a robot would normally be.
Yes.
That's like the easiest way to describe it. Think of like actually like someone who's.
I see. I'm so sorry. I did not realize you were a homunculus.
I mean, technically, that's not too far
Usually
off.
those are small, but that's very close. Golem actually is a very close.
Yeah, like a golem is way closer.
Warforged were created, like that on the helmet. Warforged were created by usually high-powered like archmages to do tasks, whatever. He actually has a backstory on that too, but I can let him talk to you about that later.
Yeah, that would be a thing we could talk about like off video or something like that.
Yeah. So
well, actually, I don't think in like on recording he's ever actually gone like further into the backstory other than the basics of
I think we didn't because we fought your brother. We fought your brother at one point. I think
we talked about the brother. We didn't speak like. Did we talk about the backstory? I don't think.
I think we did a little bit, but we didn't go too far into it. That can be a thing, like we can just say like that. We can just say at some point, like during like downtime one night, we can just say like you go through it.
You know what?
And the backstory
if you guys want to role play and talk more about your past and stuff, we can do that as part of like when we do a travel. We can have you guys can absolutely do that. That's if you want to role play. If you want to role play that part and share some info and like get into your backstories a little bit, we totally can do that. But let's just say for the time and everything.
For the sake of time.
If I can quickly, speak in character.
You can absolutely.
I can sense that you have not really seen a creature like me before, correct?
No, it's actually very interesting to look at you. You're eating and you're breathing, but you're not made of flesh.
Yes, I am fully aware.
It's a very like so, like joining into the conversation. I'll wait until he's done with this thing, and then I'll join the conversation fully.
There are not many of my kind around. They're around, and I'll be straight. There is not many who are like me, and those who are usually are not as articulate as me.
Yeah,
that's true. You guys did meet. You guys did meet an automaton recently that was definitely not as sentient and articulate as Gears is. So.
And of course, like as he finishes saying that, of course, like Kai gets up, like walking or placing a hand like on his shoulder. And to be honest, I don't know if I'd have it really any other way, because I mean, you've done some things yourself. You friggin' Bo, you've done some things yourself that have actually saved my ass in particular.
Yes.
That is very,
Same with me.
and I appreciate the kindness, and I also dread of us re-encountering someone from my past in the future.
True. Are we good to move on at that point?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
Nix is going to be laughing in the corner at Chalice, saying, "Robot," and he goes, "Hey, don't worry, Bolt Brain. If that bastard shows up again, trust me, I've got a crossbow bolt with his name
Oh,
on it."
believe me, yeah. I've got some magic up my sleeve that we'll be using on him. So,
And Miss Amber, whilst he may be eating and breathing, I hope to rectify one of those things at a later time.
Anyway.
Careful.
So, when do you wish to depart to go to investigate this tomb? What time of day? Do you want to leave in the morning, first light? You want to wait till midday? Do you want to go in the evening?
We shall probably embark at first light. Better to get the best use of the
yeah.
day.
Hmm.
I'm going to head.
We'll probably leave like not as early as we can. That's not like that's not too inconvenient for
Okay.
anybody.
You can get up
Yeah.
and have an early breakfast, and of course they'll feed you and everything, and they'll
Yeah.
you know you walk out, and Rufus is standing outside the steps, like looking annoyed that he has to be the valet today in case someone shows up. And Amber, has a map and directions and can lead you guys to the place. So it's
Alright.
way out. It's out into the countryside, and you see a big like mound of earth that you recognize to be a burial mound, and it's kind of out and kind of in the outskirts and just in a like a nice big clearing outside of these woods. How's that? Hold on.
That seems
Yeah,
accurate.
you're not wrong. So there is a small single file, like there's an opening that has obviously been uncovered that leads down into the darkness into these tombs. It is a single file situation. So can I get a marching order, please?
Here. We'll do it.
Alright.
The paladin in first. He's going to be our shield.
Yeah.
Is that
All
acceptable
right.
to you, Gears?
Fair enough.
Probably said Miss
All
Amber.
right, ladies first.
Ladies first. Do you want to let her go in front of you, Gears, and you be behind?
Who said I was talking about me?
Oh,
Oh shit!
Oh.
Just kind of trying not to like laugh too hard in the background. So like,
And Hiiro,
Miss Amber, I'd probably recommend you going after our Warforged friend. You've got a better understanding of these tunnels, so having you guide us would be nice. I shall
Now,
stick to
we
the back.
understand. Amber knows the location. She has not been in these tunnels yet.
no,
Oh, I thought,
like she knows the way through the
it
tunnel. She doesn't know the tunnels itself.
it was scouted out. The entrance was scouted out and discovered, and the scouts were not about to go into like a dark tomb. And he has, and the Lord Chamberlain had told you that he had a hard time finding brave souls to take this job, and and he definitely could not send Amber in alone. So that's kind of where you're at.
Just for the sake of like figuring out, just for anything, like just looking at like looking at like the wall, just to investigate like how long it's been, like if it's super recent that they actually discovered it. It's been a while.
Okay, it looks like it's been freshly uncovered, like there was dirt and stuff maybe covering it, and dirt and grass and stuff, that it was probably uncovered very recently, like the earth in front of the opening of this tomb has been recently cleared.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
well, anyway, I shall stick to the back so the others can keep their marching order as is.
Okay, so you're in the. So Nix is in the rear.
I will be in between. Angus.
I'm gonna be going somewhere in the middle, just so that way, like, because like I'm good at like range. I'm not good too close, but I'm not good far away either. So like I'll go somewhere in the middle.
Angus, you prefer to be in the front or the back somewhere?
Be right behind Amber.
Okay, so the marching order I have then for you guys, if this is acceptable, is Gears leading the way, followed by Amber with her map, and followed by Angus, then Rex, then Cairo, then Nyx.
Yep, that'll work.
Yes.
That'll do.
All right, folks. Away we go. You should see one chamber and the tunnel going in. Let me know if you don't.
Start to load.
I do.
Alright.
On the right.
Yeah, scroll to the right.
Okay. So as you come down, I'm going to go ahead and just move you kind of into the room here because
I'm trying to find the map, but I can find it while you.
Because there's no real immediate danger. We're going to bring you in.
There it is. I see it.
There we go. All right. And okay. So this tunnel leads down from the side of the burial mound into a roughly circular chamber. There's an elaborate stone coffin that sits in each of the 3 round alcoves. All of the coffin lids are open. All the coffins are open. Their lids have been pushed aside or are lying on the floor. And a large iron brazier, pitted with age, stands in the center of the chamber. It's not lit. It's just there. Mismatched tapestries cover the worked stone walls in all 3 alcoves. So there's basically behind all of them are these tapestries that are covering ceiling to floor, kind of covering the walls on both sides. They depict like family sigils, scenes of battles, and so on. Some of them have actually been defaced or slashed up. What would you like to do?
With the ones that have been slashed up, how many slashes is it? Is it more than one, or is it just like one?
Yeah, it just looks like someone may have gotten down here at some point in history and have defaced these a little bit. Like a couple of them on each have kind of got just like knife slashes on them, like someone was just doing it to be destructive.
Just to like at least be a little bit respectful to the dead, I'm going to just go through and just use mending, just to cast mending a couple times just to repair them.
Okay, you do, and you can definitely mend these, and so the rips and stuff are fixed in all of the tapestries in a way that you feel is respectful. Although you don't see any bodies, the coffins appear to be open and empty. If you want to look further, you can tell at a glance there's nothing in there. But if you want to look any more inside the coffins, I would need to have someone tell me what they're looking for and what they're doing.
I'm just gonna look. I'm gonna go up to this one over here and just look inside to see what's fully inside of it. If there's not a body in there, what could be in there, basically?
There is not, but you do when you investigate the coffin. At least in this one, you find there are scores of deep, seemingly like haphazard, like no pattern to them, scratches inside the coffin.
Is there a chance to investigate them to investigate those deeper to see if I recognize anything about any pattern to the scratches about it or anything like that?
Sure, roll me an investigation check.
Nope, they're scratches, all right.
They look like scratches. Anyone else can check the other ones, or can anyone want to investigate?
I will check this one.
How well lit is this tomb?
It's do you have dark vision?
I believe I can see in the dark.
Yeah, everyone can, and it is not lit.
Everyone can now.
It is dark. There are no lights in this chamber.
Well,
I don't know if divine sense would help here though, because that would it's mostly investigating the claw marks to see what they are.
Yeah, that's divine sense is more for the actual undead that would be in the.
Well, hang on. Let's see.
So,
I had Angus was about to say something. Go ahead.
Sorry,
yeah, I'm gonna check over here about. Now there's scratches over here as well.
There are. So I'll move you down here. So you're investigating that. Rex is there. You guys can help either Rex or if you want to help either Rex or Angus, they will get advantage on their investigation.
Of course, as I see Angus walking over, of course I'll walk over, just being of course, helping a little bit always helps. So.
Oh goodness. Okay. 60 feet, huh?
Okay, so I roll with advantage?
Yeah.
Okay, since luckily
God damn.
roll
The
20
big
does
fucking
it.
radius. God damn.
And what is that? That is for what?
Ooh.
Undead, celestial, or fiend? Okay.
Given we're dealing with
God
undead,
damn.
Yeah. All right.
Um,
So
I-
let's handle the investigation stuff first.
He did it's a 7, so
Okay. All right. But Rex had a 17. So the scratches look the same. The only thing what Rex notices is not the patterns are still very random, but Rex has a very good suspicion looking at them that really these things may be the scratches look like claw marks. And
They
he looks
are.
and he
Yes.
notices underneath he happens to as he's looking, he feels under the lid, and under the inside of the lid of the coffin there are scratch marks.
Oh.
As if something were in there trying to get out.
Yes. Something of the feral nature.
Let's see here.
All right. So now let's handle the discussion about the
divine
the divine sense. So you know the type, but not the identity. And what else do you know? You know the location of any celestial within 60 feet. That is not behind total cover. Let me make sure I'm reading this correctly. So not fully covered within 60 feet. That would really mean only anything that is in this room with you, because everything else outside of the room would be in another room and would be in total cover. You do not sense anything, any undead with divine sense. I'm just going to say it like that.
it was worth a try.
No, it was actually, I had to read it because it was you're here for undead. That was not a bad thing to do. Anybody else want to do anything?
Nope.
I'm trying to see what I have for items currently.
Can I check the middle?
Yeah, you can check the brazier. It looks like it has not been. It has been used at one point because it's got. You can see there's like a layer of like soot in it from whatever was burning. It's definitely not warm, and it's definitely on top of that soot is a layer of dust, as if the brazier hasn't been lit in a long time.
Dude, it couldn't hurt to try to maybe, and then again, if it's been used before, obviously anything in there would probably have been burned by now. So
yeah, there's not any fuel in there that you can see.
Maybe just a simple just kind of a quick little rummage around in there to see if there's anything underneath the soot and the dust, just to see.
Okay, so what are you're just gonna push around the dust and the dirt?
Just kind of get my hand in there, just kind of push around the entire entire small circle or whatever, to see if I feel anything inside there.
All right. When you do that, what are you stirring it around with? Your hands?
I'd probably use just it probably would be my hand, probably.
Okay.
Just a few inches above, above the bottom of it.
Okay.
Gently touching the bottom, but not too much of it.
Okay. Enough to kind of stir the dust up, but not to press or anything. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Which hand are you using? Your right or left?
Right.
Okay. You put your right hand in, and you reach down, and your fingers touch the dust, and you move the dust around.
Yeah.
And when you pull your fingers back, they have a little soot and dust on the end.
I was
on your right hand.
Yeah, of course, cleaning it, just wiping it off.
Brushing it off. Yeah. But nothing else. You don't feel anything. But from where you felt, you don't feel anything but dirt or dust.
Well, I was doing like the entire. I was doing like what I was doing with my hand was doing the like entire like
swirl around.
Like going like entire around the outside and just kind of doing smaller circles until I hit the middle.
Then your hand is really sooty and dusty.
Of course, cleaning it off afterwards,
but nothing else.
Also, when it comes to stirring, I'm sorry.
Well, I had the thing is checking under stuff like that is a very common thing. Like there could have been something in there for all we know.
Could have been.
True, and god damn it.
Yeah, just ash and stuff in there. Ash and soot and dust. Nothing. You don't uncover anything or feel anything but the bottom of the brazier.
Can I check for anything on the floor?
Sure, you can. Roll me an invest. What are you looking for? Like you looking for specifically anything?
Any
just something
marks or anything? Like
good.
Any marks or anything?
Okay.
You know.
Like anything like we've
roll me an investigation. That's a good investigation check. I was going to ask if anyone was going to help her.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I'll help.
All right. Well, so you start doing that, and everyone else starts helping you, and that means you get advantage on that with the help action.
Yeah.
And I am going to move you for a moment because when you are well, you know what? I'm just going to ping it. I'll just ping it. So when you are over here in this, you notice in this area, with that high of a roll with help, you notice a little bit of like scrape marks on the ground.
Oh.
Like that kind of lead up to the wall, or at least lead up to the tapestry that's right here.
Okay. Following up with that, is there a chance that maybe just like I could move, like to start like not taking tapestry down, but just kind of like gently fold it a little bit to see if there's anything behind where like the scratch marks start to disappear behind the tapestry?
You can. I was gonna say, so Amber, when you see them, what do you do? Because you're assuming she's telling everybody. She may want to investigate before she tells you. She is here as the liaison for the Lord Chamberlain. So, do you wish to tell everybody that you see these marks?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you tell them, and then that's fine. You know, if you want to go up and do.
Yeah.
So you move them aside, and you do notice that one of the scuff marks, kind of when she points it out, you see it, and you see it's very faint, like it's, but you see that it actually runs right into the wall, like it goes all the way flush up to the wall.
It's as if whatever was in these coffins somehow
like literally like right here where it kind of just hits.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything that it doesn't just like when it hits the wall? Does it go up the wall or does it just like stop abruptly right there?
It stops abruptly at the base of the wall.
Okay, so if anyone else would like to look at this, because I'm going to be honest, I've been doing quite a bit. So if someone else wants to look, that's fine.
Is it possible that I walk over there and gently check to see if there were any holes behind the tapestry?
Okay, you don't see.
Remember, I still have the tapestry folded, so you'd be able to like see that mark.
Yeah, you don't see. I mean, the only holes you see are kind of like where the tapestries are mounted, but there's no holes like where you guys are, like low is where you're at.
Yeah, so there's no like random holes in the wall.
Next, I see you moving over. What you want to do there, buddy?
I'm going to investigate to see if there's a false wall here.
Roll me an investigation check, please. That is more than plenty.
Ooh.
And what you see at this point is you like push around a little bit and you hit one of the pieces of stone and it clicks, and out towards you slides open a secret door.
Oh, nice.
And there are stairs that lead down from there. We're going to go ahead and give you guys...
As the door opens, you just hear on the wind, "Secret tunnel."
So there are stairs going down, and if you guys want to go down, I will tell you what you see.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I'd say
move
we would go
back.
down. We keep like the generic order that we had coming in, just so that like keep kind of a loose version of it, but keep that order from when we came in, basically.
Rex, if you're gonna go first, ladies first.
All right, you heard it. Gears, get in front.
Well, I did say about the keeping the order, so
Amazing. We've worked no more than a day, and I already don't like you.
It's
Amazing.
okay. Would you like me to hold your hand just in case if you get nervous?
Oh my god!
Amazing. We've only worked a day, and I really like this new character.
as like they're saying, just like slowly walking down the stairs, just like, I'm going.
I'm going with him.
Miss Amber,
All right.
I am next. Me and you're gonna get along just fine.
Miss Amber, due to my years out basically fending for myself, I'm very familiar with a recipe for rabbit stew.
Giving Gears just a look of "Don't you fucking dare."
So this room there are like holy symbols that decorate the walls of the chamber.
Holy symbols. I'm getting out of here.
Yep.
Always describing them. Something I want to do.
Although several of them have been defaced, they've been scratched through. There's like some kind of dye. It may be blood for all you can tell. It's covering up. And there's two small alcoves that are cut into the southern wall, and each one contains a white marble statue.
And upon like,
there is just so you can see. I'm going to go ahead and give you the view from beyond. I'm going to move you real quick here so I can do the reveal tool here. So this is there's an open like door, like archway, like doorway out to the north, and just so you can see that. But that's what you can see from there. I'll put you back.
And upon seeing like the holy symbols, like even if I don't think I can fix them fully, just doing like a small, like I did it exactly the same thing in the fun shot that we did too, but just like kind of just like doing a slight little just like a rite of respect, if anything like that.
Okay.
Like a small little silent like prayer to them, just to give them just to be clerical about it.
And you don't necessarily know, like these holy symbols look like they're very old. I don't think you would necessarily know specifically what they are, but
when I mean like doing like a prayer, I mean like just more like a generic like clerical prayer, if anything. Like one that can be used for any god, if anything.
Very appropriate.
I mean, maybe the paladin has probably been around for a while since he's a warforged, could probably tell. You may have religion trained.
He might.
Yes. I actually.
Would you like to give me a religion check there, Gears?
Yes.
I actually do have some religion myself, so I'll even help him with it.
Okay. 17. Okay. So what you can tell, these holy symbols are very like you're surprised they're kind of in this place, because the holy symbols are basically depict gods and some ancient gods you're aware of, the names of which have been lost to time. But they are definitely symbols for what would have been a god of life and a god of death. And the symbols that are faced are almost exclusively those that are related to the god of life. Knowing with that score, the two statues you see, as a matter of fact, you can tell that they depict deities that represent life and death. And as you notice, the deity of life statue, the face has been completely chipped away. It has been totally removed from the statue.
Bad juju. Bad juju.
And of course, looking up at the statue, just like with a heavy sigh, just like,
this is a place of death.
It's always the statues that have to get it. It's never the people.
Just remember, guys, don't blink. Don't
I'm
blink.
giving you this look of
For me?
exasperation.
The funny part is though, is looking at the god of life and death. Like my god is actually right in between there. Mine's like the trying to keep people like going for life, but also if death comes, he will more than welcome it.
So it's just like you're in the middle of I don't care about life, I don't care about death. I'm just like,
Well, no, it's more or less a case of if someone wants to continue living, I will help them continue living. But if they want to die, then I will let them pass peacefully.
So the god of taxes?
No, it's if you actually want to know my domain in particular, I'm actually a grave domain cleric. That's why I'm saying I'm an in between of. I'm pretty much in between of these two basically in a way, and not the god part, but the life and death part.
So that's what you see in this room.
Yes.
Are those two coffins opened or no?
You can go check them out. They looked closed from what you can see. You can go check them out if you want to. I'll reveal that area.
All right. I want to go in and I want to carefully start tapping on the coffins.
Okay. You can move yourself into there. Put yourself somewhere.
Yep.
So Amber goes in and starts tapping on the coffins. They sound like coffins. They're stone. Like you hear, like you can hear an echo. So it's definitely.
Am I able to like press my ear up against it to like attempt to hear something in there?
You can actually give me a perception roll if you can. That's if so.
Yeah, I'll put myself over there.
So if you'll look under on your character sheet, if you don't know where that is, there is a skill section, and you already know how to go. You got it. 17.
Yep.
You're pretty confident. You're hearing nothing, and you're pretty confident that if there were something, you would hear it. Like you're pretty confident that your hearing is well enough that it sounds very silent. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick reveal.
Is it the same for the other one?
I'll give it to you on that one too. So I'll let you do a perception for both. Yes, they both sound very silent.
For the sake of ease and convenience, are the lids are they sealed shut or could they be gently lifted off to the side a little?
You could try to lift them. They're I would say it's a fairly easy strength check if you just want to slide one to the side.
Could I back up just in case?
You absolutely.
My crossbow.
Yeah, you can back up and get your stuff ready for sure.
Yeah,
so if you want to do that, or if you want to have, but they're heavy. If you want to have one of the stronger party members help you, they can.
Oh, I'm gonna try it without somebody else doing it first just to see. Because I've done really good strength checks before, so I don't know.
Which one are you doing?
I'll do the one that I'm.
By the way, so you do see religious symbols that are carved onto the back of these as well, and they're very similar. On the back of the chamber, there's but definitely like a lot of dust and cobwebs. Yeah, and you see the sarcophagus, the coffins there as well. So, which one are you going to do? The one on the left or right?
Yeah, I'll do the one that I'm right below.
All right.
But before I go to lift it,
I aim an arrow just in case. I get
aim it at the gap that's going to be created.
An undead surprise.
Yeah, of course. Before I decide to actually lift it fully, just do a quick little trying to be it's I know I'm doing a lot more clerical stuff, but I'm trying to do a small little respect thing just to be I'm not doing
I am let me tell you, I appreciate you role playing your cleric properly, and you are doing the correct job. That's what you need to be doing. So
yeah, doing a small little rite, basically doing a small rite of passage prayer, if anything, just that way I'm not being an asshole about it.
Yep, that's a good role play for that. So and yes, you're able to push this one to the side. The one on the left there, I guess on the west side that you push open, you see it contains two bodies, very decomposed. There's two in that, and they're very close to each other, and they've been laid to rest holding hands. Aww. They're still dead though.
Could I do okay, this is pertaining to the people in particular. Could I do did he give us anything to did he tell us anything to look for so we could find out if it if anybody involved was them or not? Like, did he tell us what to look for so we could know it? So if like we found them, we would know.
Yeah, I could say he could tell you that maybe they both have a family signet ring. We'll say that as your clue.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna basically be like investigating for, just to see if it was just family that got buried together or something.
Yeah, so that's a good call. Good call. So you're checking and you start seeing him, and first off, your first thought is if this were to be them, and this is way too much decomposition for
it'd be fresh.
Yeah, for like a couple of 10-day, this is definitely way
this is
more.
way
These
too
people
quick.
have been here decades at least, if not centuries. Okay.
So I'd assume that this probably isn't them then, but I'll try to go over to the other one and do basically the same two things, like try to lift the lid and then.
I'd ask for you to seal them back up just in case.
Well, like putting it back on enough that if we needed to get, putting it back on just enough where it's sealed, but like just enough where it would be easy just to lift it back up if possible.
You can cover like push it back so it's covered enough, but not all the way falling into place. That's fine. So you want to try to open this next one? Sure.
Yes.
And I ready, and then I turn.
I'll be doing the. I'll try. I'm gonna try it again.
And
of course, same right of respect, of course.
Very good. And while I'm asking it, so the other folks who are here, we've been doing a lot. So Gears, Angus, Rex, Nix, is there anything you want to be doing while? I'm hoping you guys. I want you guys to speak up if there's something you want to do, but I want to stop every once in a while and make sure everyone's got a chance.
I'm curious about the statue I'm in front of.
Okay. That is the statue of life that looks like the face has been it's been like chipped away.
And I'm presuming that the one on the left.
So I'm sorry. The one that he's looking at is this is the one that's been defaced. This is the one that's life. This is the one that's death. Yeah, I'm sorry. I switched. This is the one that's death. And you know that because that's what Gears was able to tell you, and what
of course
Kyra was able to tell you, that those are ancient deities.
Mm-hmm.
Do you wish to do anything to check anything on them, and then we'll get back to you and opening the other?
Of course, that's fine. Take your time on that.
Not necessarily. No.
You just want to check it. You don't notice anything without any more investigation. You don't notice anything other than what you've been told. They're marble statues, very old. This one seems even though it's dusty and stuff, it seems like it was probably well taken care of up to the point it was just left here. This one definitely seems like it has been damaged. So,
of course.
All right. Nix, anything you want to do right away before we check the other coffin?
No, I'm going to wait at the back just in case anything comes up behind us. I don't trust anything to do with the hallway, unholy death.
This is why I'm glad we have the group we do.
Gears is guarding the rear. I'm sorry, Nix is guarding the rear. Gears, do you want to do anything?
Maybe just look around and make a insight.
Investigation, or are you just checking for more secret doors and stuff and things? Okay, roll me an investigation check. Okay, that's high enough that you are pretty confident that this room doesn't have any secrets that you can tell.
Okay. Nice.
It looks like it's like an entrance way, and the statues are here as just part of that entrance into the tomb. But you don't notice anything out of the ordinary, and that's a pretty good roll. So you're pretty confident you're okay. Now, that was enough strength check to open that up. And the second one, when you open it up, there is a small body, which looks to be the remains of a child. And there are some worn and faded toys that kind of lie amongst the dust in the coffin.
And of course, putting the lid, not even really messing around too much. Just on putting the lid back on. And actually, the funny part is I would still have some of the holy symbols, taking out maybe the last two of them, and just putting them on top of each of the coffins as a small little final gesture of kindness.
Sure, I get that.
Now he just, as soon as he's done with that, he takes the bag that doesn't have anything left in it, kind of ties it together, and just throws it in the bag of holding now, since he doesn't need to hold on to it anymore.
Okay. You see a little small like room here. You see a nice long hallway this direction from what you can see, Cairo, and there are alcoves you can't quite see what they're in, but there are alcoves, is two of them that you can see kind of opening up from the north side of this hallway. You can't quite see down. What's your dark vision? 60?
60, yeah.
All right, you can see down to here then. So I'm going to open up some more. You actually see two more of those, like little alcovey things that you can't really see what's there, but you can see enough to see down to there.
Okay.
And what looks to be an opening at the end, but you can't really quite see there. It may be a wall right here at the very end of the hallway.
Yeah.
It's hard for you to tell in the dark without getting a little closer.
I would make a small suggestion of let's check out the smaller room first, because that's less to look at potentially.
Yeah.
Of course, just like gonna slowly make my way in, being careful not to be like
moving.
Well, just being careful, basically. If any, just being careful.
You guys can position yourselves as you want to.
I put my bow back on my back, and I appear to be gripping something underneath my cloak just in case.
All right.
Of course. I mean, you can never be too careful in a place like this.
Okay, so in this room, you see that there are steps that lead up to a platform in the northern part of the chamber, and a wooden coffin rests on the dais. The coffin is covered in carvings and symbols, and the southern part of the chamber is dominated by a large stone statue, clearly that of a god or a divine being.
Okay. I'm going to allow someone else to look at the coffin, but could I look at the statue to see if I recognize at least maybe what god it could be?
I'm going to look at the coffin.
Like, just to see if it's one of the gods that we've already seen, or if it's a different one entirely.
Okay, so you're going to investigate that. Is everyone where they want to be at this point at this moment while these things are happening?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we sure?
I think I'm gonna get like a little closer to like go in the room in case they need help.
Okay, go ahead and move yourself where you want to be.
Yeah. Then we'll actually obviously do the investigation.
As Angus starts up the steps, a creature jumps up from behind the coffin.
What the hell are you?
And do I have a picture? Let me see if I have a picture. I don't know if I have a picture.
Yeah, I don't know what he is, but he looks creepy.
Out of character, is that Pinhead?
No.
No. Let me see if I can get a better shot. If I can get a good picture.
Okay.
Yeah. Here we go. I can do a upsize thing here.
Yeah.
There's actually a way for me to click and zoom on that. I can't remember what it is. Does anyone
remember? I knew you did it before in one of the ones where you clicked on it and zoomed in on, so we could all see it closer. Job it.
All right, let me give me a moment.
Yeah, that's fine.
We're gonna be doing initiative here in a minute, and then we're going to let's see.
We might be able to do at least we might potentially be able to do one round of combat, maybe if we're quick about it.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to. I think we're going to call it. Mainly because I want to make. If we're going to do combat, I want to get through a full round, and we're literally looking about 8 minutes.
Question though, is that an undead?
And how would you know if it's an undead or not? Do you have something that would let you detect if it's an undead?
Well, actually, there's actually a thing that I can do if she wants to tell me when she sees it. I could actually use I could probably use Eyes of the Grave to know that.
There we go. Here we go. Ready? Right. All right. So,
and upon seeing him, of course, I'm gonna use Eyes of the Grave.
You guys get that?
Yeah.
So I would say by looking at it, you're pretty sure it's an undead.
It's
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll still use that as the grave just to be sure.
oh my god, it's Gary Busey.
Actually, no. Chalice, when you made that Cenobite reference, that's not Pinhead. That's the cab.
Okay, so
All right,
he jumps out, and he is definitely. This thing is definitely going to attack.
Of course.
So, Chalice, how you do that is you click on your character token.
Yeah, I click on initiative.
Click on your character token first, and then you click on initiative on your character sheet.
Why is it not? Did it not click?
Oh wow!
I guess it didn't click.
Ooh, guess who's going first?
That's Harrington for you.
Yeah, I didn't see
Charles,
your
what's your initiative to that currently?
Okay. I'm trying to click on my token to roll it, and it's not. It's not rolling it for some reason. Well, there.
Yeah,
wait, no, that's that thing. Let me move the turnover down an inch to see if I can access my token that way, because for some reason I'm having trouble.
It came out.
Today
there it
is
is.
my lucky day.
All right. I don't see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't see gears. There you go.
It was the obviously. I think it took the 18, right? Because I rolled it. I rolled an 18.
It did take the 18. Okay, that is with 5 minutes. We're going to call it. That's where we'll start with combat next week.
Okay.
Good job, guys. Good intro bringing in. I think that was well done. And I would like to
There we go. I changed it to the Joey team before.
Good job on role playing. Good job on everything today, and I think we're good to call the sign-offs.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well.
Now let me just quickly close display. Let me capture on my end, but
and we're good to go now.
That's going to do it for this session of the Rising Legends Chapter 3. We will be hopping back into action next Friday.
Oh my god!
And it will be my lucky day.
Anyway.
Well, if we really want luck, we can always just cut off your foot.
No.
I prefer my foot where it is. Thank you very much.
Actually, I'm not going to use that.
Unless you prefer it up your ass. Oh shit.
Anyway, Rails.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It's time for the sign-offs. Go.
I have been your firefighting a 98 saying Forest.
And so I have been Hero Spirit King, and well, I mean, I didn't say it last week, but obviously thanks for letting me do that thing with the retool, because it's made this thing so much easier to do clerical role playing. It's great.
You're doing a lot of good clerical work.
Oh yeah, because I mean, like, that's the one thing that I love about clerics, that like you can actually do a lot of different roleplay stuff off of just that alone. Like, it's great. But yeah, I mean, hopefully this can continue, because if I continue liking it the way it is, Kai won't be going anywhere potentially.
Cool.
I am Chalice, and I made a good decision moving my character a little more forward.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That zombie is going to get sniped.
Oh yeah, I have some new spells I got to break out next week.
Guys, Scotty.
That's not God.
Good.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Yeah, too.
We kind of went out of order accidentally.
It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fine.
Anyway.
It's just I explain. That's why it's a little bit confusing.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I'm just gonna go out this door. Bye.
No, you get back up here, you.
Where do you think
you're
going?
Anyway, I've been Ultra Lively fanboy since I missed 100, and This thing surprised Angus. That was a mistake.
Oh boy.
And I, of course, have been your guys with beloved overlord, Blue Guy Extraordinary, DLBot 2016. Reminding you that I'm just a passing through Toku fan. Members for that. And word to the wise, folks, if you're investigating it,
Fair enough.
in a tomb, be wary of everything, especially weird zombies that look like Gary Busey. Like, seriously,
man.
Seriously, it's not just me, right?
Yeah.
It's not really just you, because I kind of looked at it like, is that just undead Gary Busey in a weird armor set?
Anyway.
Don't forget to bring something more goddamn growth to Anna Ciao. We'll see you next time, folks. And our DM Markus says,
good night, good job. I'll most likely kill you next week.
Yeah.
Not before I kill him first.
Maybe.
Hey, no team kills.
We almost had one.
Haven't had one yet, though. It's been close.
We've come close, but yeah.
Let's not say we did.
Hey, I died before.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway.
Just a heads up, folks. We most likely will be doing we will most likely be doing Super Robot Wars 30 this weekend, and because I checked my schedule, I do not work Sunday.
Yay!
Right on.
So I have the day off, though I will be spending some of that time working on college work. So. And something to look forward to in the future, folks. And when I can basically work with Dad to figure out how to get it working again. And then basically not to have it be picked up as malware by the computer. We're going to be basically doing a somewhat reboot of our Pokemon Xenoverse, or his playthrough on the Chronicle. We'll be doing it live for you, for those who are in our Discord server. I will tell you this: the only things we're going to be keeping the same are the nicknames for the Pokemon that we caught. We might change up the lineup as to which Pokemon we include. We don't know, but I'm very much looking forward to when we eventually can do that, because it's been a while since I played a Pokemon game.
And it has.
And we will not change the many, many painful hours it took for DL to find a reindeer.
Anyway.
Also, another reminder, folks. This February, look forward to Tokimeki Knockout Fantasy month. We got a whole bunch of funny rom-com for you all to experience. Most of which have already been looked at by some of us off screen. So, yeah. Look forward to that. And another reminder for folks, we are still looking for those who are skilled in Photoshop to help us with our JDF title our tribute for March. Arch, if you know anyone and are willing to do it for a reasonable price, please put this information in the description below. And if you're part of our server, DM and one of us, and we can get talking. And remember, deadline for this is mid-February. And yeah. Have a good night, folks. Take care. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.